Peace of the Saints. Welcome back to Sunday service. Welcome home. And we have another great topic. This one is peak performance, which is critical when you're trying to achieve something. But not only are we talking about goal achievement, we're also talking about happiness. So let's go ahead and go through, of course, the folks who are live in audience. You have questions, comments, responses. Feel free to join in. And per usual, of course, we will show love to those who show love to us. If you send in your question, comment, tuition, we will address it. We tend to have more flow during Sunday service, so do continue to support, and we will take a pause for the cause at some point. Peak performance. That's what we have on the agenda today. Then we'll go through the All Saints meeting, which if you're a member at thesassin.com, this is something we do on a monthly basis. Shout out to Isaiah who runs this. This gives everyone a chance to kind of share what they're going through and more importantly, what they're going to. We'll also end with For the Good of the Assassin, which is one of our traditions. Just give you a chance to express yourself, share what's going on in your life, casual talk. Then we'll make sure we clean up the space. Then we'll end with some exercise. I don't know if you're exercising today. You're looking sharp, though. All right, carrying on. You may hear me repeat some things a lot. It's because I'm very serious about it because I know it's going to be very powerful in life change, or I should say life improvement. The wrong goal leads to the right goal. You might say, well, Marquett, why would you say such a thing? Because having the wrong goal is actually better than having no goal. That's right. And it turns out that most people have no goal. When you have no goal, you're without purpose, which is extremely challenging in a time such as this one. People used to find purpose in family. They used to find purpose in their religion. They used to find purpose in things that are ready-made and traditional. And now in the absence of those things, you have to pick your own road. People used to always think you go to school, high school, and then you go on to college. Then you work for corporate, stay there 30 years, 40 years, and then you retire. Your purpose and your goals were predefined. In this era, everyone at some level has to be a bit of an entrepreneur, which means you have to have a goal. You have to be on your way somewhere. So having a goal is much better than not having a goal. So number one, understand, the wrong goal leads to the right place. Pardon? What's going on? No, we're fine. We're fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Remind me to always lock that. Thank you. It's all good. Thank you. I appreciate you. The wrong goal leads to the right place, which is to say that in the pursuit of any goal, just pursuing a goal is a worthy thing. In that pursuit, you're going to build skills. In that pursuit, you're going to discover the self, which is to say, learn things about who you are, what makes you happy, what makes you unhappy, what exhausts you, what gives you energy. In pursuing a goal, you develop yourself. You become a more focused person, a greater person. In pursuing a goal, you meet the right people, which is to say people who are on your path, people who are going somewhere, people who are builders, people who are skilled. That's what you get in the pursuit of a goal, even if it's the wrong goal. Here's a funny thing. When you're pursuing a goal, you are also in the pursuit of happiness. The happiness, it turns out, is actually not in the destination. It's in the pursuit. As human beings, we're always in the pursuit. You never actually really arrive, because once you arrive at your goal, what do?
Get complacent.
You might do that. You might get to the top of the mountain, get complacent, fall back down the mountain. Or if you get to the top of the mountain, you're going to look for a bigger mountain. So constantly you're resetting the goal and pursuing again, because if you achieve it, you're like, haha, I'm here. Then what happens when you feel like you've achieved all you can achieve? You become depressed, you become bored, dissatisfied. So it's actually in the pursuit where you find the happiness. Most people don't realize this. This is why in our society, you find people, they like, oh, I want to buy a Bentley. I want to live in a big house. I want to be famous. I want to travel around the world. And until they have those things, they think they're not allowed to be happy till they have those things. Here's the sad part. Often they never get those things. So they're waiting to be happy and that thing never arrives. Or they actually mess around and achieve the goal, and then they're happy for just a moment when they get to the top of that mountain. But here's the funny part. It might take you years to get up that mountain. When you get up that mountain, the happiness only lasts for like days, months maybe. Because if you get a woman because she's beautiful, her beauty will eventually wear off on you. You have to have other things you love about her. You always wanted a Rolls Royce, you get the Rolls Royce and it becomes regular to you at some point, or it becomes old and you got to get a new one to feel the thrill again. So understanding that the pursuit is actually the fun part. And when you're pursuing a goal, you're pursuing happiness. Here's an example, setting out a 1-week goal, extremely short goals. Why? So that you can focus. Long goals are hard to even imagine in the human mind. What's your 5-year plan? Nonsense. What's your 1-year goal? 1 year, that's a far, far away thing. A lot can change in 1 year. 1 week, easy to comprehend. Easy to stay intense. Biggest challenge is maintaining intensity as you go through. So we say a wealth goal, and I tend to use a wealth goal because pretty much everyone has a wealth goal. And you can always look at it as when we talk about the areas of health, wealth, and relationships, your health and your relationships are the things that hold up and build up into your wealth goal. You see, it turns out that the health piece and the relationship piece are daily practices that help build into the wealth outcome. So you say, okay, I want to make $40,000 in a week. That's my goal. You have a deadline, the date. So it's acute and clear, and then you need a prize, which some people might say the why. You often hear this language. What's the why? Why are you doing this? I more so like to think of it as a prize. What's the prize? What do we get? Because what do we get? A ton of pieces of green paper with an old white dude's face on it? Nobody really wants that. You want the prize. What can the money get me? What's driving me? Now, granted, neither of these things actually require $40,000. These things are lower cost than $40,000, but $40,000 is the goal, is the thing that we can measure and is interesting for me and for you. You pick something that's interesting or motivating for you and realistic, ambitious and realistic. First, I said, new computer. I got to get a new MacBook Pro. Some of the softwares that I run for all this stuff, they're very heavy, so to speak. They require a lot of memory. My Intel processor is not as good as the new M3 Max, and so I figure I should get the M3 Max. It'll be better for business. You might say it's something that I need. So something I got to get, and it's expensive. It's like a very expensive computer. Then I changed and I crossed that out, and then I put flight to Manila, the Philippines. Why? Why did I change that?
Could be because of the men's trip coming up soon.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility for sure. And I'm sure some people want to go somewhere after we leave Vietnam. Philippines could be one place. That's one possibility. Anyone else? You have any idea why I changed my prize from new computer to trip to Manila?
Probably because maybe you have a business meeting over there.
Okay. These are good thoughts. These are good thoughts. And I like how they're both related to business, to necessity. Yes. So the computer is something that I need. I absolutely do need that. The trip to Manila is not something that I need. It's something that I want. It would be fun. It would be exciting. This is a need. This is a want. Which is more motivating?
The want.
The want. If you have a financial goal and your financial goal is, I want to be able to pay my bills. I mean, that's a good thing, but is that exciting? Or is it more exciting to say, I want to have enough money that I can buy anything I want this month, or I want to have enough money that I can buy a yacht, even if I don't want one? You see, the want is more motivating. The need is basic, fundamental, and necessary, and we should take care of this. But the want is going to be exciting. It's going to get you out of bed. It's going to have you like really firing on all cylinders. It's going to give you passion. It's going to give you emotion. You need emotion to really get into motion. When your goal is to pay all my bills, that's a low level. That's a very low level. And here's the worst thing. If that's your goal and you achieve it, this month I can pay all my bills. That's good for you. That is not cool. I would not want to work hard to achieve that. Problem is you set the goal too low and you hit it. That's the worst thing in the world. I'd much rather set the goal high and miss it than set it low and hit it. What looks cooler, this or this? This looks much cooler. People often talk about visualization. I'm not big into visualization. You don't even need to imagine. You can see what it actually looks like. Use Google Images. This is what it looks like. Looks interesting. I've seen a MacBook before. This is what the MacBook Max 3 looks like. Need one. but it's not going to motivate me. So then every day I rewrite that goal. But this time I whittled it down. If the goal is 40,000 in a week, what is it in a day? I need to know. 6,000 in a day, I round it up. I always round against my favor. In business, you always round against your favor because there will inevitably be expenses that you can't calculate for, that'll surprise you, things catch you off guard. So I calculate against my favor, and here's yet another image of Manila. Looks interesting. I'm trying to imagine myself there. It's exciting. Gets me fired up. Every day I review it. I rewrite it in different language.